Today I'm testing every Switch made blindfolded. So we all know the Switch OLED came out recently and I absolutely love it, but it comes at a high price point of $350 and a lot of people are wondering, can you actually tell the difference between that and the Switch? I'm about to do a blind test to see how different they truly are. So our four categories that we have is the OG original Switch, the first one that came out. Then we've got our revised version over here. We've got a Switch Lite, oh, so cute. And last but not least, our Switch OLED. We're testing in four categories. We're testing in sight, we're testing in sound, we're testing in touch, and we're testing in weight. I do it all in the name of science. Here we go. So behind this is one of our four Switches. We're about to play a little bit of a course of Mario Kart and I'm gonna try and guess which Switch it is. We've got some beautiful trees. I feel like this looks very colorful. Exciting. I do feel like there is a little bit of a dimmer element to it, but I can't tell if it's just because like the street or not. So I'll be excited to see the next one to kind of compare them between the two. I feel like if this is not the OLED, when the OLED comes, it's gonna be like night and day really quickly, but it looks good. All right, here we go. Round number two. It makes me nervous because I wish I could just like see them all laid out at like the same time and look at them. But this is a real test, right? To see if it's worth the money. So I'm doing this for you. And if I'm wrong on the internet, it's for you out there. But what if my friend tricked me and it's just the same one again? I don't know, I'm thinking about this too hard. Okay. I'm going to say, I haven't seen all of them yet, but I feel like this one is the OLED. Am I making a fool out of myself? We'll see. But I feel like this is it. I don't know. Here's number three. Here we go. I feel like the menu here does look brighter. Like the blues on the use item, drift, steer, and accelerate. These coins look very, very shiny. Like very shiny. The colors are very bright here. And I feel like the most noticeable to me on this one is just how shiny the coins are. Like the other ones, it wasn't really like noticeable to me how shiny they were, but I feel like this one you can really tell. I don't know, I feel like every single one I see, I'm like, is this the OLED? Maybe. This one, again, I think the major thing I'm noticing is just everything looks shinier. It's hard to explain, but when you see it around the over, you'll be like, I understand. All right, Switch number four. Okay, immediately I noticed like right off the bat, everything is so much smaller. Let's get started. I'm pretty sure this is the Lite, just from the size of everything. I will say though, it is really interesting because I feel like, I'm assuming this is the Lite, I don't know for sure, but I feel like on the Lite, the home screen for the Lite had like a way more yellowish tint. And I feel like that at least went away when we're playing Mario Kart right now. Like I can't really tell that it has that yellowish tint to the screen, which is really exciting. Now we're gonna go through them all, just looking at the home screen too before we make final decisions, because I feel like in real life, like when I very first opened my OLED, that was like the major difference that I noticed right away. As you can see immediately, this looks so much better than the Switch Lite. Like I can kind of see it's peeking out in the corner right here, but you can see like the brilliant colors from the Mario Kart. It seems bright to me. The colors still look good, but it's not that like bright, true color that the OLED gives off. I don't know if this is Switch version 1 or 2. Okay, I feel like this one is for sure the OLED. I think there's a couple things that give it away. One, just size. Like everything is so much bigger and it's still in like the same setup. So this home screen I can immediately tell is the Lite because again, everything is so much smaller than it is on like a normal Switch screen. And it still looks pretty dim even though it's on like max brightness. All right, so I definitely think that Switch 3 was the OLED. I feel like it was pretty obvious towards the end there, especially, and Switch 4 was definitely the Lite. But the real one to try and tell between the two that would be a little difficult is between the Switch version 1 and Switch version 2. So I think you're gonna say that Switch number 2 is the original Switch and Switch number 1 was version 2. All right, now it's time for test number 2. So we've mixed up the Switches once again, and I'm going to be blindfolded while my friend holds each of these up to my ear, and I'm going to try and determine who has the best sound. Ooh, that sounded loud. Oh, that was loud. All right, I feel like this is the OLED maybe, because it's Let's test the next one. This is Switch number 2. Oh no, this is still really loud. I feel like they're the same. I don't know. They're pretty much the same. Oh God, oh no. This one sounds quieter off the bat. This definitely sounds a lot shallower in sound. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a Switch Lite. The sound is not as good as this one as the earlier two, for sure. I think it's really between the first two, which of those was the OLED. I don't think this really compares as much. It's not even my fault if I can't get this right. It's Nintendo's fault because they were like, enhanced sound, air quotes. What does that even mean, Nintendo? This side. This side. This side. This side. I think this one's the OLED. Am I? I was right! Woo! All right, next one is going to be the touch. So I'm going to be blindfolded once again, and I'm going to be just going over the overall feel of each device. Here we go, once again, into darkness. Okay, here we go. I was gonna be a cheater and like feel for the back. I am still doing it, I am being a cheater. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a regular Switch and an Animal Crossing Switch, but that's being a little bit of a cheater. But this is a touch test. If I didn't touch everything, then it wouldn't be a good touch test, now would it? All right away I can feel this bottom ridge and I know that this is the OLED. The OLED has this like specific ridge right here from the kickstand. The distance is a little bit wider. Your hands, not like too crazy that you're like, you feel like you're like, ah! But it is a little bit wider and a little bit more comfortable, I would say. Let me see. Okay, yeah. We know right away this is a Switch. It doesn't have that beautiful Animal Crossing feel on the back, so this is just a regular Switch. This one, very easily, the Switch Lite. It's so tiny. I'm holding it upside down again. You got that silent sound, no Joy-Cons to slip off, smooth feel overall in the back, and no kickstand. Here we go, test number 4, weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my palm out just like this, and my friend is going to place each one on the palm of my hand, and I'm going to try and guess them by the weight. All right, let's get started. In the name of science. I'm so scared. What if she puts like a spider in there? Okay. It's a little heavy, it's a little light. Next one, please. Okay, this one's the light. So I'm thinking this is a light and the last one was a Switch probably. Just regular Switch. Ooh, okay. This is heavier. I feel like this is maybe the OLED? Oh yeah, this is, I feel like this is the OLED. Let's see if I'm right. I did it! Yay! I guessed him! We did it, guys! It was not as scary as I thought it was gonna be. I was really worried that I was gonna make a fool out of myself, but I got them right, which is really exciting. And I think some differences were really easy to tell, like obviously the overall feel, and we did get the sound, but it was hard to tell the difference in sound, which again, I don't think is my fault. I feel like that's a Nintendo thing because Nintendo didn't even give us metrics for different sound. They just said enhanced audio. So it was enhanced, but by how much truly? And who knows, maybe it would be different actually, like you're playing a game with some in-depth surround sound, but at least for our test, I think that was the hardest one to tell the difference between. Visuals, for the most part, were pretty easy to tell. You can't really tell that big of a difference between V1 and V2 when it came to the differences. The major ones were between the OLED and the Lite. The Lite, everything is just smaller, which is just an instant giveaway when it comes to that. But I still think, again, it's a great alternative if you really want to play Nintendo games, but can't afford $350. I still think it's great, but again, it is definitely noticeably different, and that's why it's cheaper. And you know, all these technologies are different and great, and there are some slight differences between the two, but at the end of the day, what really matters is that you're having fun playing the games and experiencing the joy of Nintendo.